Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to completely dismantle a super pervasive myth. I'm talking about the idea that intelligence is just this fixed genetic trait you're simply born with. For so long, we've basically been handed this narrative that your cognitive ceiling is set in stone. But today, we're looking at the data, the history, and the hard science that proves otherwise. So let's dive right into this really provocative question. What if your IQ isn't actually fixed? For decades, society and traditional schooling have basically told us that by the time you hit 18, 25, or maybe 50, your brain power is just locked in. They say you're either a math person or you aren't. You're a creative genius or you're just, average. But as we're going to see today, the absolutely smartest people in history tell a remarkably different story. Just take a look at these three historical figures. They reshaped human thought entirely, right? Yet they actually started out with major academic strikes against them. Albert Einstein was literally considered slow as a child by his teachers. Charles Darwin? Just an average student who absolutely hated memorizing facts. And Thomas Edison was actually expelled from school and labeled unteachable. Now, they didn't achieve greatness because of perfect genetics or some prestigious schooling. They achieved it because their daily habits fundamentally changed how their brains worked. Today, we're walking through a 6-step blueprint for what we call architectural intelligence. We'll cover deep thinking without input, struggle before help, writing to clarify thinking, building mental models, deliberate memory training, and protecting cognitive energy. Let's get right into it. Starting us off is habit number 1, deep thinking without input. Look, there's a massive modern trap we all fall into. We kind of trick ourselves into believing we're getting smarter just by consuming more stuff. Endless videos, podcasts, articles, constantly scrolling, you know the drill. But the genius habit is entirely different, and honestly, this might surprise you. Neuroscience shows your brain actually gets smarter when it's forced to think without input. Einstein didn't just sit around calculating all day. He grew his mind through long, isolated walks with zero input, just doing pure thought experiments, like imagining what would happen if he chased a beam of light. Modern science actually calls this the default mode network. It's the brain system that handles your absolute highest level cognitive stuff. We're talking abstract thinking, those sudden aha insights, long-term strategic reasoning, and really profound creativity. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This network only fully activates when your brain is completely unplugged and forced to think without any external distractions whatsoever. So, your actionable takeaway here? The daily thinking walk. And I mean no phone, no music, no podcasts, just you and your thoughts. Now, fair warning, at first it's going to feel incredibly boring. Then it's probably going to feel pretty uncomfortable. But if you can push past that initial boredom right into the discomfort, that is exactly where intelligence is actually forged and new insights are born. All right, moving right along to habit number 2, struggle before help. This brings us to a really fascinating concept called productive struggle. It's basically the cognitive mechanism where your brain literally strengthens deep neural pathways through a cycle of trying, failing, adjusting, and retrying. Benjamin Franklin famously leveraged this to an amazing degree. He wouldn't just read brilliant essays, he'd read them, put them away, and then try to rewrite them completely from memory. And only after intensely struggling would he check the original. It absolutely forced his brain to actively retrieve and reorganize the data. I absolutely love this quote. Struggle is not a sign of low intelligence. It's the mechanism that builds it. Your smart habit here, write down your absolute best answer before you ask someone else or Google it. Modern brain imaging actually proves that instant solutions might feel super productive in the moment, but they vanish quickly from your memory. Struggle is what activates those deep neural pathways. Up next is habit number 3, writing to clarify thinking. Think about it. Most of us frantically type out notes just to store information, right? Like we're a human hard drive. But geniuses, they write to clarify. Leonardo da Vinci didn't write these neat, organized essays. He used messy, totally contradictory handwritten fragments, questions, and wild diagrams to intentionally slow his brain down. He used writing to detect gaps in his own logic and force his vague ideas to become crystal clear. Writing was literally his way of making thinking visible. Since modern research from places like Princeton and UCLA shows that physically writing by hand deeply improves your conceptual understanding compared to typing, you really should start a daily thinking journal. But hey, don't just write a boring log of what you did today. Ask yourself the hard questions. What confused me today? What idea feels totally unfinished? Examine your thoughts instead of just collecting them. Let's dive into habit number 4, building mental models. The legendary investor Charlie Munger famously championed this idea of a latticework of mental models. He believed you absolutely need to pull core foundational concepts from all sorts of diverse fields to create a really flexible understanding of reality. Notice how different disciplines provide entirely different core systems. Physics teaches you cause and effect, biology teaches adaptation, psychology reveals human bias, and economics is all about incentives. When you start combining these, you literally start seeing the world in 3D. This kind of cross-domain learning naturally develops what's known as transfer intelligence. That's basically the ability to flexibly take an idea you learned in one domain, say biology, and apply it to a completely novel situation, like a business problem. This cross-domain learning is exactly why historical polymaths like Aristotle and Goethe possessed such extraordinarily high fluid reasoning. They were always connecting the dots across completely different worlds. So the crucial point for your weekly routine is this: intentionally learn one new concept completely outside your normal expertise. You don't need a PhD in it, just understand the basic concept. Read an article on architecture if you're a software engineer. Look into evolutionary biology if you work in finance. Allow your brain to grow as these totally unexpected ideas start cross-pollinating. Moving on to habit number 5, deliberate memory training. Ancient scholars deliberately trained their memories because they totally understood that a sharper memory actually creates much faster reasoning. Just like how Nikola Tesla could mentally visualize, rotate, and test complex machines entirely in his head, you can use techniques like active recall, spaced repetition, and mental visualization to fundamentally reorganize your neural networks. You aren't just memorizing random data, you're literally upgrading the hardware of your brain. MRI studies actually prove that people who train their memory create denser, much faster, and more efficient brain connections. So make this your smart habit. Recall before you review. Before you even glance at your notes, try to explain a complex idea out loud. Teach what you've learned. Because memory isn't a fixed talent. It is a highly trainable skill that seriously boosts your overall IQ. And finally, we have habit number 6, protecting cognitive energy. There is a massive and honestly toxic misconception today. Constant hustle, chronic stress, sleep deprivation, they actually damage your executive function, which happens to be a core component of your IQ. Charles Darwin, one of the most impactful minds in human history, only worked 4 to 5 focused hours a day. The entire rest of his time was spent walking, resting, and reflecting. Your brain does not upgrade during the hustle, folks. It upgrades during recovery. To truly build this systemic architectural intelligence, your final smart habit has to be prioritizing your biology. Get deep sleep, move daily to get that blood flowing to the brain, get some sunlight, and crucially, allow yourself to be bored. I know, putting the smartphone down and just staring at a wall sounds absolutely terrifying for most of us today. But boredom isn't a weakness. It is vital cognitive recovery that prepares your mind for its very next major insight. So I want to leave you with this question to reflect on. What habits are building or maybe blocking your intelligence today? Intelligence isn't something you just randomly chase down. It's something that grows as a direct byproduct of the systems you build. If this explainer changed how you view your own potential, share it with someone who still firmly believes IQ is fixed, and get out there and start building your own architectural intelligence today.